Looks like Manchester United could be one of the busiest clubs before 11 p.m. and the transfer deadline. Edinson Cavani, Alex Telles, both on the verge of joining. Let's head to Sue Smith now, who can give us her thoughts on everything Manchester United. Sue, still at Anfield for us. Sue, good evening once again. Cavani, let's start with him, edging closer to a move to Old Trafford. You know, 33 years old, but what a CV he's got, the goal-scoring record he's got as well. Is this a good signing then for United, or the fact that they're signing a player on deadline day itself who's been looking for a club all summer, does it also have an air of desperation about it?
It does, Jules, and I think that's what's been frustrating Manchester United fans, isn't it? That they've left it so late. Yes, they've brought in Van der Beek and added to that central midfield area, but is that actually where they needed to add? Yes, he brings quality, but I look at Cavani and I do think it's a last minute. It's something that, yes, they want to bring in a striker. He's 33 years old. He is a proven goal scorer. We know the qualities that he's got. He has been world class, playing for PSG, playing for his country, Uruguay. But it just seems a little bit desperate from a Manchester United perspective. And you can understand why, like I say, the fans have been frustrated with the transfer window yet again. But what he will bring is he will bring goals.
Jadon Sancho would have brought a lot of strength if he'd come into Manchester United. It's one of the deals we've been tracking all summer, and here we are on deadline day. I don't think it's going to happen. But if he was United's #1 target over the summer, yes, it's a big fee, but it's Manchester United. Why didn't they just pay the money, do you think?
It is, and I can understand in these times where I think everybody's been affected, haven't they, by the coronavirus. But, of course, he has been your #1 target from the very beginning. We've kept talking about, is Jadon Sancho going to sign for Manchester United? And, again, it's just frustrating that hasn't got over the line because they haven't paid the fee. They didn't do it in time. And, of course, he would have brought so much quality to that Manchester United side. But you look, where do United need to strengthen? They need to strengthen defensively. I think we all saw that yesterday in the game that we watched. It's great bringing in these attacking players, but they have to strengthen defensively in my opinion, that the centre-half position and also the left-back, which obviously, you know, Telles is potentially going through. So I think if that goes through, that's another good signing for Manchester United. But a centre-half had to be priority. So I'm so surprised that hasn't happened.
Yeah, and finally, Sue, so many questions about United's transfer policy, and this is an issue that comes up window after window, but the fact that they do not have a director of football, would it have been a different scenario had they had one?
I think so, and I think that has to happen. When you see it every transfer window and you see it's going down to deadline day and they're scraping around trying to bring in these players that they're clearly not their first choice players, because if they were the first choice players, they would have done it so much earlier on. And like I say, Van der Beek was a great signing to bring in and to bring him in when they did. But now you're bringing in Telles, you're bringing in Cavani, you're looking, do we need another centre-half? Yes, we do. Are we going to bring that in? So it's frustrating from a Manchester United perspective. And, of course, if they have that director of football in place, you would say that these sort of things wouldn't be happening and they shouldn't be happening for a club of Manchester United's calibre.
OK, Sue Smith in the rain on Merseyside. Thanks very much indeed.
Cheers, Jules.
Yeah, I reckon it's still raining in Manchester as well. Let's turn our attention to them then. And Manchester City, Ben Ransom is in the dry, though, but has been monitoring any comings and goings. It sounds like it, though, Ben, that there's going to be more goings this time around.
Yes, exactly that. I think Manchester City, they like to do their business well before deadline day. And I think with that signing of Ruben Dias, they did just that, because he was always going to be, or certainly a centre-half was always going to be their marquee signing. And when Dias became the best of the options they looked at, the most affordable, especially with Nicolas Otamendi going the other way, he was essentially going to be the end of their major business. So it is about what the squad looks like going into the rest of the season, because Eric Garcia is really interesting. Now, the clock is ticking on his time here at Manchester City. Not only is his contract up at the end of the season, but we know that Barcelona have a firm interest in him. But up until now, they've not met the valuation that Manchester City have placed on Eric Garcia and the value he adds to their squad for the season, even if they are potentially going to lose him on a free at the end of the season. So, as it stands, he's staying here at Manchester City. However, the interesting part about this is he's away with Spain now, with the national side in Spain. So logistically, it does mean that Barcelona, if they want to do some late business, if they are able to find an agreement with Manchester City over a value for Garcia, could get this deal done tonight. So that's an interesting one to watch. Also, interesting to watch the future of Tosin Adarabioyo, a player that's interested Fulham, among other Premier League clubs over the summer. Now, we expect Fulham to be the main team looking for a signature this evening, but it all depends on what other business they're able to do. How many central defenders Scott Parker's able to bring in before the deadline. So 2 central defenders, potentially 2 departures. The clock ticking.
Yeah, the clock ticking indeed. Thanks, Ben. As if by magic, I can click my fingers and change to Jolyon Lescott. Yay! Jolyon, look, good to have you back. Looks like Eric Garcia could then be going. Is this a good move, do you feel, for both parties if he does?
Evening, Vicky. Yeah, well, I think Eric's made it clear he wants to go back to Barcelona, where obviously he started his trade in regards to academy football. And if that's the kind of goal for him, then I'm sure both parties will look to make that happen. Is it a good thing or a bad thing that he's made it known he wants to go back there, and there's only kind of one club in the race kind of thing? So does it bode well for Man City in regards to holding out for the money or the value that they think is warranted of Eric Garcia's qualities?
Yeah, look, we know they've got problems at the back. You know, Pep Guardiola spent over £100 million on the 2 players he's got there at the moment, Ake and Diaz, over £400 million on his defence. Are you happy with what he's got on the 2 centre-backs, though, this time around?
Yeah, in regards to Ake, I think that was a sensible acquisition. He's a proven Premier League player. He can play multiple positions, so we've seen that on the weekend, and I'm sure that'll be the case going forward. Was he coming in to replace Laporte? I don't think so. So the fact that he can play as a left-back and offer a bit more stability defensively than Mendy, and also play in midfield, which he's done for the national team. So in regards to Ake, I think that's a sensible acquisition. Like I said, Ruben Diaz, well, obviously only time will tell. He's coming from a winning team, so he has that mentality, and that's what was looked for in regards to the recruitment side of it. So he's a stature, he has a physical presence, so I'm sure he'll be able to compete in that element. But in regards to will he be the answer to Vincent Kompany, which is everybody wants to know, only time will tell.
Brilliant stuff, Jolyon. Back to you shortly in the next hour. Thank you.
Yeah, more from Sue Smith and the brilliant impressionist Darren Farley will join us again in the next hour too. And we'll have all the breaking transfer news. This hour we brought you news that Matteo Guendouzi has left Arsenal on loan. One midfielder out. Could that mean another is on his way in? Maybe a £45 million arrival from Spain. It'll be party time if so.